team that defenses can always handle. But we have to get Dwight involved, and that is where it has to start for the Magic. Guys, back to you.
Thank you for that, Doris.
When Dwight Howard can draw the double team, that's where it all starts for Orlando.
Here's Nelson after Terrence Williams scored. And here's Nelson. We saw him with 19 points his last outing. Vince Carter on the wing. From downtown. Kept alive. Here's Howard. It's blocked. Raptors with the lead. And this game, the first chance they've had to see Orlando.
It's the first of three, Kevin, and they'd love to sweep the series. There's some real tension in the air when these teams meet.
Now here's Johnson. Rashard Lewis covering. Here's Jack, defended by Carter. Blocked. And here now the Magic, trailing by 2. And Clark, it is their first look. Do you think there will be any surprises tonight?
Well, you're always leery of surprises. There could be. You know, when you've put two rivals preparing for a game, each side wants to get the other outside of their comfort zone. We'll see what happens.
Here's Jack. Magic knocking down the tray. Here's Hamilton. And again, no good by Toronto.
That's not something you'll see very often. Got the mid-range jumper he wanted, but off target.
Here's Nelson. Connects from 13 feet out. Here's Jack. Just over 3 minutes left in the first. Back to Johnson. And it's sent back by Howard. Magic leading by 3. Here's Nelson, and again it's Orlando converted.
He came up big there against the much bigger opponent. Sweet play down low.
Here's Johnson. Hits the front rim and in. Johnson's got his second bucket of the night.
You've got to close out on that mid-range jump shot.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Well, Stan Van Gundy gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. I asked him to sum up their season to this point, and he said there's definitely room for improvement, but there are a lot of positives they can draw from. He'd just like to see a little more consistency on a night-in, night-out basis. Wouldn't we all, Kevin?
Thanks, Doris.
He's had some problems finding the range here in this quarter.
Here's Nelson. The 3. And it's Petrus missing. Raptors trail by 5. Johnson, the pass to Bargnani. Back to Johnson. It bounces out of bounds after the shot. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. Taking a look at Toronto. Here in the early part of the season, they've acquired the 3rd best record in the conference. And, of course, there's the Magic, more than a few spots below.
You know, you're always center stage as a player, but in rivalry games, it's even heightened, Kevin. I mean, you really feel like you're in the middle of all of the action, and all eyes are on you. Everything in this game is going to be more scrutinized, reviewed deeper, and the media is going to revel in it, but the players get a chance to determine what the outcome is. Got a great jump on the ball there, Kevin.
Nice shot by Hamilton.
Unbelievable shot there. He busted out the trick release and left the defender dazed and confused.
Nelson outside. Lets loose for 3. Gets it to go. Nelson's got 7.
Kevin, you can't rest or blink at all on him. He's a dangerous scorer, and you have to know where he is at all times. Kevin, that's the kind of shot you want. You can't ask for better execution on offense, but sometimes they just don't fall.
Last season, a trying one for the Raptors and their fans, just missing the playoffs in the East.
Well, it came right down to the wire, Kevin. The Raptors actually played fairly well against the Eastern Conference, too, 29-23. You wonder if they could have made a little noise in the...
The Raptors making a switch here. Here's Johnson. Richard Hamilton on the wing. Richardson covering. Hamilton kicks to Johnson. Deflected by Howard. Look now at the Raptors' upcoming schedule. When this game is done, they'll be off to Miami to take on the Heat. That'll be game 2 of 4 straight on the road. Here's Hamilton. 8 points his last outing, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will take it. This game coming after a loss against the Jazz.
One of the tougher defeats I think we've seen, Kevin. It's one thing to go into a game undermatched and fall a bit short, but to get destroyed against an inferior team is quite another.
So the Raptors 5 right now. Johnson in at 2 guard. Evans is out there with Wright. Then it's Terrence Williams. Thinking about the Magic's postseason, Howard was a factor for them, but his numbers weren't the same as what he did Clark in the regular season.
Yeah, that happens sometimes in the playoffs. He averaged about 1 point and 2 rebounds below his regular season line, but he still was averaging a double-double, 17 points and 11 rebounds. But you'd expect maybe a tad more than that from him.
And again, Toronto no up. Magic leading by 9. Richardson the pass to Nelson. From 11 feet away, here's Howard. Again, Howard missing. And Toronto has possession. 9-point game. They defeated Charlotte in their last game.
One of the things that stood out to me and that I really liked in their game was the effort on defense. They did a nice job covering shooters, rotating to guys with the ball. They contained them when they had to, got some big stops, and then they limited the outside shooting game.
Raptors trail by 9. Here's Johnson. Oh! Hammers it in.
Nice feed. That's the way to keep the ball moving.
Here's Williams. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Pass to Nelson. Four on the clock. Let's go with the 3. The shot, no good. And Toronto the other way. Williams kicks to Johnson. Dump off pass. The 10-footer. Dwight Howard grabs the board. Here's Orlando now. They're on a 14-6 run. Here's Richardson. And it's Johnson picking him up. Richardson, good.
Got an open look out there in transition and did not hesitate. That's a nice shot.
For 3. Johnson can't get it to go.
You got to expect more out of him here. He's had a lot of difficulty this quarter, which in turn is making it difficult for them to cut into this deficit at all.
Pass to Howard. He's against Evans. Evans picks him up. Takes a 3. Kept alive. The second chance effort. And Howard with the nice bucket inside. Howard's got 7. And Toronto has possession. Down by 12. Right inside. Gortat's there. Open look. Johnson, good. 8 points for him.
Just put the ball in his hands, Kevin, and watch him go to work. He's going to make something good happen.
And let's go to Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have for us?
Well, Kevin, you look at Stan Van Gundy, a demanding coach to be sure. He really holds his players accountable. But last year, Dwight Howard went to him and said that he needed to avoid focusing at all times on the negative, saying instead of bringing each other down, we have to pull each other up. Stan Van Gundy agreed and tried to be more upbeat. Guys, a very good example of good communication helping a team come together.
And credit Van Gundy for being open to change. Interesting story, Doris. Thanks. A lot of attention always paid to the starters, but you know, Clark, this Magic bench was a big part of their success last season.
Well, that was until the playoffs. They seemed to be extremely overmatched by the Celtics bench in the conference finals, and I thought that was the difference in that series.
Catching up on the changes for Orlando. Rashard Lewis. He's checked in for Gortat. Carter comes in for Jason Williams. And it's Duhon in for Jameer Nelson. The Raptors making a switch here.
I like the job they're doing. A much better job of getting them involved in the offense here in the second quarter.
Here's Johnson. Off target for 3. And Clark, with the Magic's bench struggles last spring, especially against a veteran team like Boston, as you were saying, it's going to take a complete team performance to get by them.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, when you're in the playoffs and in the conference finals, you need everybody contributing. It takes a complete team to win an NBA title. You've got to be good, you've got to be healthy, and you've got to get contributions from everybody that's suiting up for you. And if you're going to win it, that's what it's going to take. Tough interior defense means not allowing easy baskets. Good foul.
These Raptors, Clark, they couldn't sneak into the playoffs at the end of last season. They were right there or in prime position, but they just could not finish the deal.
And, you know, Chris Bosh called out the team's effort down the stretch. He just wasn't pleased at all with the lack of intensity that they played those games with.
Backing down is Howard. They double-team Howard. Duhan off from three-point land.
You know, you don't want to leave anybody out there that wide open.
Back to Johnson. Releases from 15. Scooped up. Dorsey, that's good. And they cut it to 6.
You have to block this guy out, Kevin. He's just too active on the boards to be left alone.
Duhan with the ball. Here's Carter. And 2 free throws coming up as the whistle blows. He barely missed that one. Thinking about Carter and Ito Turkoglu objectively, you could say Vince Carter is a better. A new group in now for the Raptors. Here's Johnson. He's got 12. And it's Nelson picking him up. Bargnani. Out of bounds. And they'll keep possession. And upcoming the schedule for the Orlando Magic. They'll be taking on the Phoenix Suns. That'll be the latter half of this 2-game homestand. Magic leading by 5. Howard is out there with Daniel Orton. Then it's Michael Pietrus. Then it's Quentin Richardson and Nelson. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Magic. Pietrus with it. Jacks up the triple. Orton is tagged with the loose ball foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. Here's Johnson. And it's Nelson picking him up. Here's Evans. Through contact and a whistle, and he'll go to the line. The first one falls. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Here is Nelson. He's got 7. Here's Howard. Evans grabs the board.
Boy, they appear to be a little tight after halftime.
Here's Hamilton. Hits the quick shot. Hamilton's got his 3rd basket of the night right there. Orlando leading. It's off to New Jersey for him after this game as they take on the Nets. That will be a getaway game for them, a 1-game road trip. Howard against Bargnani. Bargnani against Howard. Clock at 2. Another miss by Howard.
It's not been a day to remember, but if they get the win, I'm sure being the team player that he is, he'll be fine.
Back to Johnson. Now Bargnani, and it's Howard picking him up. Throws it up. No good from Bargnani. And the Magic with possession. Searching for that first bucket here in the 3rd. Now Nelson. It's dumped off. And here's Pietrus. Kept alive. Orton. It's good. Nice offensive rebound. And the Magic lead by 3.
Nice. Big momentum builders, those second chance points.
Here's Hamilton, and that's good. Laying it in. Hamilton's got 8 points.
They've really flipped the script here. Their hustle at both ends has got them back into this one.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. Orlando making some changes. Gortat's checked in for Howard. Lewis comes in for Daniel Orton. And it's Carter in for Quentin Richardson. And then for Toronto, Joey Dorsey's checked in for Evans. Williams comes in for Julian Wright. And Jarrett Jack is subbed in for Richard Hamilton. Vince Carter on the wing. And it's the Raptors ball. They're on a 14-5 run. Back to Johnson. And he jams it in beautifully.
Boy, he's so graceful, so smooth when he takes it strong to the rim like that.
You know, Clark, you can pretty much always depend on him for those kinds of plays.
Yeah, graceful and powerful.
Sure. Outside Carter. The Magic again can't hit.
Hey, he can hit from that range. I think he missed that one, but the defense is going to want to tighten up on him out there.
Well, a tough season for the Raptors last year, Clark, and they really struggled on the road.
They certainly did. Defensively is where they had their problems. Only 15-26. Not the worst road record, but certainly close to it.
Nelson outside. Defended by Jack. Fades back. And it'll go the other way. The Magic turn it over.
The line's there for a reason, young fella. Stay in the game.
Here's Jack. Here's Toronto. They're on an 18-5 run. Here's Bargnani. Again, Toronto. Well, Clark, how do you improve your play on the road?
I think it's a defensive focus, a mentality you have to take. That's the key first and foremost. And then you have to be ready to make key plays at key times to get those close wins on the road.
Here's Nelson. He has 7. Here's Petrus. Another miss by Orlando.
Nothing's working for him here. He's just really struggling to find the basket.
Here's Jack. And almost gets it to go, so he'll shoot 2 here. That one on Nelson. A chance to see Georgia Tech product Church. Here's Johnson. 16 points for him. Takes it up. Got a hand on it. They could make this a 2-for-1 opportunity. Johnson against Nelson. The dump off. For 3, Richardson. Bargnani grabs the board. Here's Toronto. They're on a 20-5 run here. The alley-oop. Beautiful alley-oop finish. Johnson's got 18 points.
Boy, these guys have a terrific feel for each other. You have to in order to make plays like that.
Don't you think you can tell that they love being on the court together?
Boy, they're having a good time.
Nelson, the pass to Reddick. Back to Nelson. The steal.
You know, both teams, Kevin, are just about even in terms of giveaways here, so no advantage either way.
And we are heading into the 4th. Lots of production in this one as we conclude the 3rd. And we'll get back to the